The story begins many years ago in a secluded research facility hidden on a remote island. Inside, a team of scientists were engaged in highly dangerous experiments, combining the DNA of various dinosaur species to create entirely new massive hybrids, creatures more powerful and deadlier than anything the world had ever seen. But a single careless mistake changed everything. During a routine task, a worker accidentally dropped a candy wrapper, which fluttered onto a sensitive control panel. The impact triggered a system malfunction, setting off alarms throughout the lab. In seconds, multiple security doors began to fail. Chaos erupted as containment systems broke down and the genetically modified dinosaurs began to breach their enclosures. Amid the confusion, one unlucky worker was trapped inside a containment cage. He didn't make it out in time. One of the mutant creatures attacked and tore him apart. Jump to the present day, and in the heart of a bustling city, a massive dinosaur suddenly collapses in the middle of a busy road, while authorities scramble to control the situation and move the creature. Then we're introduced to Martin, a wealthy investor with a hidden agenda, and his companion Zora. Martin reveals that he's spearheading a top-secret project focused on extracting DNA from specific dinosaur species. His goal is to develop a revolutionary treatment that could potentially cure several deadly diseases. Curious, Zora presses him for details about the species involved.
It's dinosaurs. They may be through with us, but...
Martin calmly explains that he's targeting the 3 largest dinosaurs ever discovered, and one of them is the mighty Mosasaurus. Martin chuckles as he explains something unbelievable. These ancient creatures they're looking for? They live on a highly restricted island near Ecuador. No one's allowed to go there. It's off-limits to the world. Then he leans in and tells Zora that the mission has to be completely secret. No big teams. Just a small, tight group who can go unnoticed. That's why he needs her. He wants her on the expedition. At first, Zora flat out says no. It's way too dangerous, and she knows it. But the moment Martin offers her $10 million, she pauses. That kind of money changes everything. They head to a museum to meet Dr. Henry.
Sorry to drop in unannounced. Can we have a word?
A world-famous expert in prehistoric life. Martin and Zora lay it all out for him.
This research is crucial. We just can't get it to trial.
They're not just looking for dinosaur bones or fossils. No, they need real, living creatures. Blood samples. Warm blood. It's the only way the treatment they're working on can move forward. Dr. Henry doesn't say yes right away. He hesitates, just like Zora did. You can see the doubt on his face. Zora whispers to Martin, just offer him money too. But Martin shakes his head. That won't work on someone like Dr. Henry.
I don't mean in a theme park when you were a kid or watching some poor creature wander around town lost.
So Martin takes a different approach. He tells the doctor straight up, for all his years of research, all his fame, he's only ever studied bones. If he really wants to be known as an expert, he needs to see a living dinosaur with his own eyes. Otherwise, he's just another guy with a theory. Those words hit the doctor hard. You can see him thinking about it. Maybe Martin's right. Maybe this is his only chance to truly understand the creatures he's devoted his life to studying. After a moment of silence,
You ready?
Yeah.
Dr. Henry nods. He's in. Next. Zora brings up an old friend, Duncan, a seasoned boat captain she trusts. She wants him to lead the trip to the island. But as soon as she tells him the plan, Duncan pushes back. He's not thrilled about the idea of sailing into dangerous waters filled with prehistoric creatures. Plus, the whole thing is completely illegal, and he's especially protective of his boat. It cost him a fortune.
What the hell is this? He's your guy.
So now the pressure's on Martin. To convince Duncan, he tells Zora to double the offer. Give Duncan a big cut of that $10 million. The money is just too good to pass up. Duncan finally agrees, though not without hesitation. Then we meet Bobby, the guy brought in for protection. He's got military training and is there to make sure the team stays safe from whatever might be waiting for them on that island. Once everyone's on board the ship and they're heading toward the island,
the solar radiation is different, the insects, vegetation, everything.
Dr. Henry explains a bit about how they're going to collect the blood. He's designed special darts. These things are high-tech. They need to be fired from exactly 10 meters away.
These darts collect blood samples. You get one shot with each. The Mosa has 4 inches of hide,
so you must be within 10 meters to penetrate.
When they hit a dinosaur, they automatically draw blood and pop back out, floating safely down with a little parachute. That way, they get what they need without hurting the animal. Meanwhile, not far from them, there's a family out enjoying a private cruise on their own boat. The father, Reuben, is relaxing with his two daughters. The younger one is Isabella, and the older one, Teresa, brought her boyfriend Xavier along. At one point, Reuben gets tired of steering. Xavier stumbles out, still half asleep, and begs for one more hour of rest. Reuben's annoyed, but lets it slide. That's when they see it. Something massive moving in the water.
Something big sideswiped.
It's the Mosasaurus, a gigantic prehistoric sea creature. At first, it doesn't seem like it's trying to eat them. It just rams their boat hard, and water starts pouring in. It's not hunting them. It's defending its territory. And this poor family had no idea they were in the danger zone. As the boat starts sinking, Reuben grabs the radio and calls for help. Duncan hears the distress signal.
Down to 10 square meters, they send a DSC.
He tells the crew they're close enough to do something. But Martin? He says no. He wants them to stick to the mission and keep heading to the island. Duncan isn't having it. He reminds Martin that it's his boat, and he's the one who decides where it goes. So he makes the call. They're going to save that family. They get there just in time. Everyone from the family is pulled onto the ship, shaken and scared. They describe the creature that attacked them, a giant sea monster. That confirms it. The Mosasaurus is nearby. And sure enough, it shows up again and slams into Duncan's boat. But once again, it doesn't try to eat anyone, just warning them. Zora sees her chance. She asks the crew to steer closer so she can take a clean shot. They move in, she fires, and it's a perfect hit. The blood sample is collected and safely parachutes down. Mission success. But before anyone can even celebrate, more aquatic dinosaurs start rising from the water. And this time, they're not just ramming the boat. They're attacking. Bobby, the security guy, jumps into action. But he's the first one to go, killed in a terrifying, brutal way. The family is horrified. They thought they were being rescued, but now they realize they've been dragged into something way worse. Teresa grabs the ship's radio and tries to call for help, but doing that would expose the entire secret mission. Martin panics and runs after her. They argue, and during the struggle, Teresa slips toward the edge of the boat. Martin just watches. He doesn't try to save her. He lets her fall. Thankfully, Xavier jumps in right after her and manages to pull her out of the water. But the damage is done. The ship's navigation is completely ruined from the attack. It's out of control, heading straight into danger. Everyone jumps off before it crashes. Now stranded at the edge of the island, the survivors gather whatever supplies they can from the wreck. They barely have time to breathe. Suddenly, one of the dinosaurs, this one can walk on land, charges out from the jungle and grabs one of Duncan's assistants. Eats him alive. The group is in full-blown panic, but they've got no choice now. They pull themselves together and try to figure out what to do next. Zora gathers everyone and tells them she's not completely unprepared. Before setting off, she left behind a backup team, some trusted friends, with clear instructions. If she doesn't return in 24 hours, they're coming to find her. Martin adds something else. There's an old abandoned lab somewhere deep in the island. If they can reach it, there's a good chance they can use the equipment inside to send out a signal for help. So while they're not entirely stranded, their main focus still has to be on collecting the remaining DNA samples. That's what they came here for.
We gotta find high ground before the sun goes down.
The exploration team begins their journey through the jungle, heading deeper in search of the dinosaurs they need. Meanwhile, the family, who had crash-landed on another part of the island, is also doing what they can to survive and find a way to call for help. As night falls, little Isabella stumbles upon something unexpected. A small dinosaur. But this one isn't scary. In fact, it seems curious, even friendly. Its features are different too, like it might have come from that old lab where hybrid creatures were once created. That same night, Reuben has a quiet moment with Xavier, his daughter's boyfriend. He sincerely thanks him for jumping into the ocean to save Teresa. Reuben admits something too. He never really thought Xavier was the right guy for his daughter. But after what he did, Reuben realizes he was wrong. Saving someone's life? That's not something you fake. That's real love. Later, Xavier steps away from the group to use the bathroom in the woods. Out of nowhere, a velociraptor sneaks up behind him, ready to attack. But just then, like a twist of fate, a massive flying creature swoops down and snatches the raptor mid-air. Xavier never even saw it coming.
Oh, great.
By the next morning, the expedition team finally reaches the largest dinosaurs on the island. Thankfully, these are herbivores, but Dr. Henry reminds everyone that not all of them are this peaceful. The dangerous ones could be nearby. They spot a pair of dinosaurs standing close together, possibly mates. Carefully, they fire a dart and collect another blood sample. At the same time, Dr. Henry gently touches one of the creatures. For the first time in his life, he's touching a living dinosaur. He's overwhelmed. It's nothing like bones or fossils. This is real. Back with the family, things take a dangerous turn. While exploring, they fall into a hidden ravine. At the bottom, Teresa notices something, a small boat in the distance. She runs to it, hoping it could be their way off the island. But as she gets closer, she sees something horrifying, a dinosaur, torn apart, its limbs missing. Still, she keeps going, determined to get that boat back to her family. Then she sees something even worse, a massive T-Rex sleeping nearby. Teresa moves slowly, carefully pulling the boat without making a sound. She knows this could be their only way out. But eventually, the noise wakes the T-Rex. Luckily, it doesn't see her. It just gets up and walks to a nearby water source. The family jumps into the boat and starts to sail away, but the T-Rex spots them. It charges straight at them. With no other choice, they leap into the water and try to hide beneath the surface, praying the beast won't follow. Strangely, the T-Rex seems to move slower than expected. It's just enough for the family to slip away again and again, until they finally wedge themselves between some large rocks where the dinosaur can't reach. That's how they survive. Meanwhile, the exploration team needs just one last sample from the legendary Flying Dinosaur. But this mission is the riskiest of them all. Instead of going after the creature directly, they decide to try something safer. They'll collect DNA from its eggs. They climb to the top of a mountain where they find a nest and carefully extract a sample. But just as they're finishing, the mother dinosaur returns, and she is not happy. She attacks instantly. Zora and Dr. Henry are closest to her and almost get caught. But another crew member distracts the creature by making loud noise, drawing her away. It works, but at a terrible cost. The dinosaur charges him instead, and despite trying to run, he's caught and swallowed whole. Now the mission is finally complete. The team places all 3 DNA samples into a locked case and starts making their way to the abandoned lab, hoping they'll be able to call for rescue from there. As fate would have it, the family is also heading toward the same lab. Once inside, the two groups are finally reunited. A helicopter is supposed to come for them soon, but tensions boil over. Teresa confronts Martin, accusing him of trying to kill her. Martin doesn't deny it. Instead, he locks the case to his wrist and pulls out a gun. He tries to calm everyone down, saying they'll all leave together, take the samples where they need to go, and get the family to safety. He promises everything will be fine. But as night falls, the lab lights turn on and attract unwanted guests. Several dinosaurs arrive, storming the building. The team scrambles for cover. Martin and Zora hide under a car, while the rest escape into underground tunnels and pipes, hoping to wait it out. But these dinosaurs are smarter than anyone expected. They start crawling into the tunnels too. Zora realizes it's too risky. She breaks away and takes a different path to try and rescue the others. Martin, still carrying the case, jumps into a car and drives off to launch a flare, hoping the helicopter will spot it. The chopper is nearby, but it starts to turn away due to no clear signal. Then, just in time, the pilot sees Martin's flare and heads back. But just as hope returns, a massive mutant dinosaur, one they've never seen before, appears out of nowhere. It grabs the helicopter mid-air and swallows it whole. The others realize what's happened and start to panic. They head deeper into the tunnels looking for another exit, but the final door is blocked. That's when little Isabella steps up. She crawls through a small opening and unlocks the door from the other side. Just as she does, the mutant dinosaur returns, ready to strike. Suddenly, Martin comes driving in fast, drawing the creature's attention. The dinosaur turns on him and devours him instead. With the door now open, Duncan grabs a flare and tells everyone to run.
Come on!
he'll lead the creature away. Like a true hero, he drives off, sacrificing himself so the others can live. Zora breaks down in tears. She refuses to leave until she knows if Duncan survived. Then, off in the distance, a flare goes up. He's alive. They turn the boat around and rescue him. As they finally sail away with all 3 DNA samples secure, the group begins to talk about what comes next. Dr. Henry and Zora make a decision. They won't sell the DNA to the highest bidder. No secret labs. No private deals. Instead, they'll give it to the world, so that the cure they've worked so hard for can belong to everyone, not just the rich.